Okay. It's Alex, right?
Correct.
My name's Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
You can just call me Caroline.
Caroline, just
Yeah,
Caroline?
Like, yeah, you don't have to.
Not doctor
Last
or-
name, no.
Okay.
Just Caroline, yeah. Is this your first time seeing a therapist?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So before we get started, I just want to go over, so you signed some papers when you're out with the receptionist, and it's okay if you didn't read them. There were a lot.
I didn't.
Yeah, nobody does. So that's why we're just going to go over them really fast.
Okay,
So,
cool.
so one of those was for confidentiality. So it's nice to know that whatever you and I discuss will not come out of this office, right? So it makes a comfortable environment to share. There are some exceptions, and we're going to go over those. So the first would be if I suspect that there is imminent danger of violence to either you or someone else. And the other is if there is suspected abuse of a vulnerable population, like elderly or children. So if that were to come up, which it can, sometimes does, that's just normal, part of life, we would talk about it. And then when it's time for me to report, you could be there and we could make that call together.
Okay.
So that you can be a part of it. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I don't think
No?
that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to take a minute to get to know you then and find out who's sitting across from me so that we don't have to jump right into it, right?
Yeah.
So where are you from? Where do you work? What's
So
life looking
I'm
like?
originally from Oakland, California. I
Mhm.
lived there for the first 30 years of my life. I moved to Utah 4 years ago.
4, okay.
Yeah.
And what was the move for?
For treatment for
Okay.
substance alcohol abuse.
Okay.
I did really well there. I've been sober for 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Started school about 3 years ago. I really enjoyed that. Although lately it's been kind of a struggle.
Okay.
What else? I have a really small family. My mom, my sister, my aunt. Dad's not. He's kind of in the picture. What else? Like basketball, photography.
Right.
What else would you like to know?
I think that paints a pretty good picture,
Okay.
right? Kind of recent to Utah.
Yeah.
Probably starting to feel like home maybe, but still newish things to discover. I guess
Mhm.
that's true of anywhere you could be though, right? There's always more to see,
Right.
more to do. Have you been liking it so far?
Yeah, I'm kind of like mad at myself that I haven't like gotten out enough though. Yeah.
Is that because of the school?
School, work, yeah. I've just been.
And I don't know if you mentioned where you're working.
Oh, I didn't. I work at a treatment center for adult men with mental health issues.
And how long have you been there?
Almost 2 years, and then a year before at their like substance abuse program. So 3 years in the treatment field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
Wow.
like it.
Was that because of your own experiences that you chose to work in that field?
Yeah, and it like sent me on this whole path.
Of school
Of
as well?
school, yeah. Social work program, working in treatment. Yeah.
Wow, it's all connected, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. As you are discovering fun things to do in the area, if you do get out, you should tell me, because I'm always looking for a good restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's maybe the one thing I've actually explored is like food. Yeah.
You gotta explore the food.
Gotta eat food.
Yeah. I could probably give you some recommendations too. We all have our favorite places, right? It's good to swap food ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious then, you have a lot going on, school, work, living in Utah, and there's no family here, right?
No.
You're by yourself?
Yep.
Okay. What brought you into my office today?
So I've been just recently, maybe the past, well, almost this whole semester, I'd say. So was that 2-3 months? Just having a lot of issues with motivation. Like I'm just not into it the way I feel like I should be, or the way I was in my bachelor's program. And I feel like this part is so much more important than the bachelor's that like it's kind of, I don't know, frustrating me. I just like can't work up the motivation to like.
Yeah. What in your mind is placing more importance on this degree than your last one?
I mean, because the bachelor's degree is just more general. This is like really focusing in on like what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future.
Okay. So really that like digging in
Mhm.
vibe, like maybe feeling like the knowledge is more valuable.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you really want to soak it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. It's wonderful to hear that you care about school, that you're really digging in and seeking that education. But I'm sorry that it's a stressor.
Yeah.
So you said motivation, not where it once was.
No.
No. How do you know? Like, what are the signs that?
Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat.
It's okay. What are the
Um,
signs that the motivation is gone, or not gone, but not where it was?
it's just like so much more of a struggle just to get like assignments done, or even like do readings. Like usually I would be like just genuinely interested in it, and so I would do it, and it wouldn't feel like I'm doing it for a grade, which is kind of like ironic since in the graduate program, like grades are kind of less important.
Right.
Or they're supposed to be. It's hard to get my brain to switch, but still.
Yeah, what happens?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, maybe just a little more down lately,
What do you mean by down?
like depressed, sleeping more.
Okay. So you're tying that into that big term of motivation.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
I mean, in my mind, it's probably tied to that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what changed then in the last month? Is that you've just been feeling it since you started school again, or were you feeling this motivation loss before the program started?
It might have started a little bit with the practicum semester right before, but actually now that you mention it, I did move right at the same time, and so now I live alone, as opposed to like living with a roommate, and it's possible that could have something to do with it, like less contact with people.
Yeah. Having other people's energy around you.
Yeah, more.
They're doing things.
More in my own head, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. That might be interesting to look into for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What life looks like living alone versus not living alone.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned that you care a lot about this master's program, and that it's something you really want to absorb,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a goal of yours to really apply that knowledge to whatever's next, the next step.
Yeah.
Right? And that what I'm hearing is that this lack of motivation is not in line with that goal.
Right.
That there's this conflict there
Yeah.
of what you want versus what you're currently experiencing.
Yeah, and I mean, it also leads me to like judge it, right? Because I should be motivated to do it because it is important to me, but yet I'm not. So like it makes me question like, oh, is it really important to me or whatever?
To judge that goal and value, like, do I really have
Yeah,
this goal?
if I can't get the motivation up to do it. But I mean, I bet it's more like secondary, like, like really I'm just like kind of low energy,
Right.
a little depressed, leading to like less motivation, and then, so.
Yeah. I don't know, I just kind of latched onto the word judge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's a word that you use
Oh yeah,
a lot?
that's all my brain does.
Really?
It's just like a judging machine.
What kind of things is it judging?
Not like negative judgment.
That's okay,
I don't
yeah.
mean judgment in a negative way. I just mean like, seeing things, qualifying them in my brain, and then it's just like I feel like that's all my brain does.
Do you feel like for you it's kind of black and white, like either I'm doing good or I'm doing bad, or is it more of like on a spectrum for you?
I think there's a spectrum, but I definitely tend to be hard on myself as far as like judging myself goes.
So you said motivation, right? Is that what brought you in today? Is there more complications involved with what got you to make the decision and call and schedule the appointment? What was on your mind when you made that choice?
Yeah, I mean, just basically that. I mean, I would probably go more towards the depression. I think motivation's like a consequence of that.
Of the depression.
Yeah.
So if you were to feel like the choice you had made to talk to someone was a good one and paid off, right, and resulted in a positive outcome, how would you know? What would the signs be that that something good came of it?
I'd be sleeping less, probably. I'd be like watching like less TV and doing more things I like to do, and whether that's like spending that time like more into the work in the graduate program, or just like, you know, going on a hike or whatever, or being like around my friends. That's how I know.
Right, seeing those changes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, depression can look different for different people. And I'm curious as to how you're experiencing it. You had mentioned the increase in sleeping, and then a lack of motivation towards how much you used to dig into your schoolwork, and just finding like the internal motivation of like, I want to learn it just to learn it, not for the grade. How else is that presenting for you, the depression?
I mean, at work too. It's like just a struggle. Like, I actually don't mind being like, I'm doing kind of a mix right now where I'm doing some work from home and some work where I go in with the, you know, front line with the clients. And I don't mind doing that as much, although I used to.
The going in?
Yeah, and I think maybe it's because like I'm just like too secluded.
Oh, because you live by yourself now?
Well, and now I'm doing work from home. I haven't actually put all this together yet. It's happening right now.
Okay. New changes.
Yeah, so changes, and
Okay.
so now I'm doing like at least 15 hours, 20 hours of work that I would have been doing, you know, around, you know, coworkers, clients. Now I'm just alone on my computer.
So I'm curious, when you found out that that change was going to happen, that you were going to go from spending a lot of time at work to spending time at home, how did you feel about that when you discovered that it was happening?
Well, it was my choice.
You wanted it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because of the school, because school was getting added.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's more contact with people, but, you know, it's only like in
You were
settings.
prioritizing the flexibility
Yeah.
that it would offer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful that you had the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, but perhaps is even further secluding you from the world. How much socialization are you getting at school?
Probably minimal, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I am kind of like a introvert, so it is a little harder for me.
Harder for you to...
Just like open up. I mean, I don't even know. I think I just do it second nature, like push people away sometimes. I don't even mean to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of alone time is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Alone time, schoolwork, work that has been taken home, and then a little bit of time in the schoolroom and a little bit of time at work.
Yeah.
Right? Are there any other places you're spending your time?
Yeah, I mean, there's times with friends, like going out to dinner or lunch or whatever, dessert or whatever.
Gotcha.
But that's like far and few between now. Like it used to be weekly, and now it's like maybe once a month.
Oh, okay.
With like each friend or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. That's a kind of a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you find yourself really missing the socialization? Or is it
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna just say not consciously.
not consciously?
But I will still say yes.
But it might be contributing to this.
That's like my feeling.
A theory.
Yeah, it's my theory.
A thought. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. So, if your motivation were to return, how would you know, right? Like, if you were to go to sleep, right, and you wake up, and without you knowing, your motivation came back, how it was when you were in your other program, how would you know? How would you know that it had returned? What would look different?
Sorry, I got distracted by that music.
Yeah, it's very distracting.
How would I know that my motivation had returned?
Yes, how would you know?
If I woke up tomorrow and it was just there. Yeah, I mean, I think I already said a couple, like I would sleep less. I'd make more plans with friends. Find time to like hang pictures. Like I moved like what 3-4 months ago,
So
and like I haven't like hung
fill out
any
the
pictures or like gotten a rug or
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean just like, you know, like
Yeah.
tying up loose ends. I mean, and stuff that would like make it, if I'm going to be home, at least like my home would be a little more
Yeah.
homey.
So fun question then. Have you invited anyone over to your new space?
Yeah, a few
Yeah.
people.
A few people.
Yeah, but like very early.
Like right when you first got there.
So like no
Okay.
couch even at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the things that I'm hearing you say are important to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, is school.
Mm-hmm.
You care. And you've kind of been down on yourself that lately you haven't been caring as much as seems,
Mm-hmm.
right? Spending quality time with friends,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also I'm hearing some work in there too, that it's something that's been consistent for you for a while, and that even with added flexibility, you make it a priority
Yeah.
to do that well, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I unfortunately don't think the motivation will just magically come back,
Yeah.
right? And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if we could identify just one thing in the next week that you would like to see return, even in just a little way, what's something that we had just talked about that you would like to see come back?
I think being like more social is,
Social.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I think that's where it will start. I think that will give me more energy,
Yeah.
and then maybe like cascade
Right.
down.
So you mentioned that it's been a while since someone saw your new place,
Mm-hmm.
and that it hasn't been put together yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's just a few things missing.
Okay. A few little details.
Yeah.
Homey touches.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, you know, personal flares.
Right.
Not like
Right. Making it yours.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to add those personal touches and have someone over, how would that feel for you?
That'd be good.
If in the next week that happened?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that was just an idea from me. That doesn't have to be something that you
No,
do.
I like it. Yeah, I actually have like one of my closest friends who still hasn't been over,
Oh.
so I can invite her over.
That would be important to you to have her
Yeah.
come see your place.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something you feel you could commit to as an action
Yeah, absolutely.
to do within the next 7 days
Mhm.
before we meet again?
Yep.
Okay. Just thinking about the potentiality of that happening now, like how do you feel? Just thinking of like it might happen. What emotions does that bring up for you?
Happiness, really. I mean, there's a little anxiety, but
Okay.
like I don't think I have to make it too big.
No, casual.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. Where's the anxiety from? I'm curious.
like finding the time to do it.
Okay.
Like taking
Uh-huh.
time out of other stuff, but
Yeah. Do you feel confident that there is time in there somewhere for that? to
Oh, yeah.
happen? Yeah?
oh yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Oh yeah, I was gonna swear. Do you mind
That's
if I
what you
swear?
can swear.
I was like, I fuck off enough time, like napping or watching a show. Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't even need to come out of
Mhm.
the important things like school and work. Like,
Right.
it could definitely come out of
That other time.
yeah, that other time.
Okay. So if you're gonna follow through with it, like what steps do you need to take to like make sure it happens? Do you have like a planner you keep on your phone?
Yes, I have a planner that is empty
Oh,
that I used to use a lot when I was like working at work more often. but
Right.
It went out the window
once you moved home.
once this semester started.
Oh, okay.
But I've got a bunch of papers coming up, so I've actually been planning
To use
to use the planner for like
Nice.
some assignments,
Yeah.
like because I got to find the time to like actually like write this stuff.
Yeah.
But while I'm doing that, I
Mhm.
suppose I could put in
Pencil in the front.
pencil and
Or pen in the front.
pen in the front.
Pencil is for people who aren't ready to commit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like like clean stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
And so you'll have to either call or text her, right,
Mhm.
to arrange it. How many days in advance do you think it needs to be in order for it to be a success?
Well, knowing her too much advance will not be good.
The plans might change.
Yeah.
If it's too
like,
far in
It's like
advance.
2 days. 2 days, I
2
think,
days
is
would
the
be
sweet spot with
perfect.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe pencil in when you're gonna call her,
Uh,
and then also once you guys make
yeah,
the official.
Thursday would be like the right day.
Oh, cool. I'm curious, what personal touches are you gonna add then before
Oh man, I don't know if I'll get to that.
You don't have to.
Oh,
if
there's
she's
just-
a true friend, the place doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, no, there's just like, I like photography and there's some pictures I've taken that like I have framed that I haven't put up yet, and yeah, like I have to go buy a rug.
Right.
I'm thinking of like moving the dining room table. To
Well, maybe you could invite her over and have her help you.
Yeah, I could definitely.
Instead of doing it before she comes, have her be your assistant. It's always an idea, a fun activity.
Yeah, for sure, and get like
Yeah.
different perspective, because
Yeah.
what the fuck do I know?
Well, I'm sure you know a lot. You're in grad school.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today and being candid,
Mhm.
even though we were strangers just like a little bit ago.
Mhm.
But I'm really excited to hear next week how your plans with your friend went.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.